Okay, hallelujah, name is Christ. We commence this parenting workshop.
结束圣灵，开始我们今天的how do you say 宗教教育的会议。
Okay, so the last time we were doing a developing relationship with our children.
所以我们上次有讲起我们跟我们的孩子的建立的我们的这个
And one of the ways to develop a relationship with our children, we must have interpersonal relationship, right? We must have that interpersonal skills.
所以我们跟我们的孩子建立我们的这个关系的一个重点，就是要能够跟他们有一个
Does
好的
anyone
关系。
know what is the definition of interpersonal relationship? Interpersonal definition. What interpersonal definition means?
有谁知道这个人质的意思是什么吗？
Anyone? Brother Jamin, you want to give it a shot? Interpersonal.
人
There's
质
no really right or wrong. We just say.
其实没有对错，就是
Yeah, interpersonal. Yeah, interpersonal relationship. Yeah. Right. So interpersonal, right? So relationship. So the definition is this, brother. Can you go next slide, please? Yeah. Interpersonal. Interpersonal refer to something involving or occurring among several people, right? Between people.
所以人际关系的意思就是在很多人之间的这个关系。
And interpersonal skill refer to our ability to get along with others.
然后人际的这些技巧就是我们跟人之间的相处。
And that's why for this session, it's not only good for parents, also good for everybody, right? Because every one of us need to develop every kind of relationship, right? Between friendship, right? Church members, parents, siblings, whatever it is, we all need to develop this kind of relationship.
所以在这个课程当中，不是只是给父母亲的一些教养，这是给我们也是非常重要，可以值得学习的。
And the first one want to talk about is the next slide, please. What is interpersonal communication, right? This is what the answer is there already.
那这个人际交通的意思是什么？
So interpersonal communication is the process of face-to-face exchange of thoughts, right? So face-to-face.
所以人际交通的很重要的一点就是你要跟一个人就是面对面。
Yeah, so exchange of thoughts, feelings, emotion between two or more people.
所以就是两个人或是多一点的人之间的这个交换。
So this includes both verbal and non-verbal elements of personal interaction.
所以这个跟用话这样直接讲，还有这些可能没有讲出来的话是有关的。
So who feel they have really good interpersonal communication skills?
所以谁在认为他们自己的人际的技巧非常的好？
So Sister Ali, how do you get along with your siblings? You're pretty good? Are you good?
阿丽姐妹，你
Yeah.
如何跟你的姐妹相处？
So you think you have good interpersonal communication?
那你觉得你自己的人际
Sometimes, okay.
人际交
Sister
通
Claire,
好吗
what do you think? What about you? It's okay. Yeah. So, I mean, can you give an example? Can you give an example of the non-verbal and verbal elements of interaction?
所以你可以举一个就是用语言沟通，还有就是没有用语言沟通的这个沟通的一个例子吗？
It's really like your facial expressions and eye contact, like just like body language.
Yeah.
It's like nonverbal.
Right.
可能就是一些你的身体的，就是一些表现，就不用话说出来。
Yeah, so quite often when we communicate with a person, you need to have both, right? So your non-verbal and your verbal aspect of this interaction must go hand in hand, right? Cannot be like you making a sour face, but you say, "Oh, I'm so happy," but your face is not good, right?
所以用言语或是非言语，一定需要有一个这个连接，你不能就说我很开心，可是你其实里面是臭的。
Yeah. And then the next one is interpersonal skills, right? Next one, please. Yeah.
所以下一个我们要聊的就是这个
We just going over all the
技巧。
definition a little bit. So we have that, behind you have to see, okay, now we're going to use these skills, right, to develop relationship.
所以我们就会用这些技巧来建立我们的关系。
So interpersonal skill is like our behaviors and trait that we rely on when communicating and building relationship with others.
所以这些技巧就是我们的行为，或是我们的就是做的不同的事情。
Of course, often they call people skill, right? People skill.
很多人就会可能会提出这个人。
Sister Evelyn, do you have a good people skill? There's always room for improvement. All right, all
一
right.
定有进步的空间。
Sister Pamela, what do you think? How's your people skill going?
你觉得你的人际技巧怎么样？我不知道别人对我的想法。
That's other people. So, Brother Jim, and how's our people skill? How's Sister Pamela people skill? They're excellent. Oh, wow. Yeah, the last time I asked you something about sister, she always say she's excellent too. That's pretty good.
跟我的技巧比起来，非常
But how
出
do
色
you, what about Brother Jim? What do you think, sister? How?
He gets along with everyone.
Yeah, and that's really good people skill. Yeah, I mean, you get along with everybody. It's true, right? Like Nathan, he loves to play with you and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And kids always know, right? The person, right? Yeah.
所以能够跟人友好的相处，这是一个很重要的一个技巧。
Okay, sister, how about what do you think about how's your people skill?
你的人际关系怎么样？人际技巧。
Not too good? Not good, not bad, not good. Okay. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of her people skill back there? No, the kids, right? Yeah, is it not good? Right. So what about your son? Is he has good? You have good people skill?
所以你的儿子有好的人际沟通技巧吗？
Or if he likes a person? Oh, I see. So he's always nice to you then? No. Oh.
如果他喜欢一个人，他的沟通技巧会增加很好，比较好。
Okay, sister, how about you? How's your people skill?
So probably the people will see me would be strict.
Oh, strict? They see you're strict?
A lot of actually like Catherine, her friends, like the first time she showed me, she said, I feel like I'm very strict.
Oh.
Or maybe for her school application, something I kind of be strict for her. So next one. So for my friend, I think I'm nice, but I don't know what they think.
应该很多人都认为我比较严肃一点，可是我其实对我的朋友不太知道他们在想什么。
Yeah. So the next question is that, it's quite often these people skills, it tend to incorporate both innate personality, right? Sometimes people are born with that kind of interpersonal relationship skill, right? People skill.
所以其实有一些人是天生就有这些性格或是这些技巧，
And sometimes we just learn how to handle, right? They kind of trait, we just learn how to handle different situations, with different people.
然后不同的人就会对于不同的情况会有不同的表现。
So effective interpersonal skill can help us build relationship, can have positive impact on our family. That's for sure, right?
所以好的这些技巧会帮助我们在我们的家庭里面，或是别的我们生活的方面。
Yeah, I mean, we give an example, for example, like the Ephraimites, right? The Ephraimites in Book of Judges, they always go around causing trouble. They always, because they're a big tribe. So they always, threatening people, want to hurt them, this and that, right?
所以我们会看到，在士师记的这个以法莲人，他们就对别的人不太好，
But
想要伤害他们。
Gideon, Gideon was, he has really good people skill, right? Because even though they want to hurt him, they say, oh, what am I compared to you? He has really good people skills. So because of this, they stop being angry.
但虽然很多人想要伤害基甸，他其实有很好的一些人跟人的技巧。
But Jephthah, right? Jephthah, during the time he already make a promise to sacrifice his daughter, right? During that time, right? So he's not in a good mood. So when Ephraimite threatened to hurt him and hurt his family, this and that, then he just pretty much have a big war, and they fight, and then many people died during that time. Jephthah,
I don't know how to translate. How do you spell?
yeah. Yeah, in the book of Judges, I don't know what chapter is that.
Okay, actually, you can just repeat that. I'll just say his name as is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so Jephthah, he just make a promise to God to sacrifice his daughter.
所以在士师记，Jephthah 他跟神有誓一个约，就是他想要牺牲他的女儿。
So when Ephraimites come and say, I'm going to burn you down with you and your family in it and stuff like that, right? And Jephthah was very, very upset.
所以这些以法莲人就来，想要把他的家人都烧死，所以他就非常的难过。
And then they went to war, right? And then, of course, the Ephraimites, many of them die.
他就去战场，然后很多这些以法莲人就死去了。
So that's why it's important for us to have people skill, right? People skill is very important.
所以这些人际技巧其实非常的重要。
Remember, what's her name there? Abigail, right? Abigail? No, is it Abigail? I'm sorry. Her husband there, they went to, Nabal, right? Nabal, his name is Scoundrel, right? Scoundrel. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
所以
Nabal, right? Yeah. But then, it's her Abigail, right? Abigail, right? Yeah, I don't know why that name seems so foreign to me. Yeah, but yeah. So Abigail, she was very wise, right?
所以亚比家有非常充
Because
满
at
的
the
智
time,
慧。
David wanted to ask if he can get some food for his men, but Nabal, he's just acting like a foolish person, right? He's saying all this, saying all that. So David can go and destroy everyone during that time.
所以大卫想要就是找食物，可是拿贝尔就非常的愚笨。
Yeah, and then but Abigail went to intercede for him, and she spoke very nicely to King David. Then David ended up not destroying the whole, all those people.
所以亚比家就去请求大卫，然后大卫就没有把全部的人。
So that's why, our Lord Jesus Christ said, "Blessed are the peacemaker," right? It's important, right, for us to have shows good people skill to make peace.
所以其实我们有良好的人跟人的这些技巧，是可以人之间的更加的和睦。
So that's why in relationship with anyone, especially with our children or our children with our parents, we really need to have good, people skill, right, to be able to talk and communicate so we can understand one another.
所以孩子跟家长或是孩子之间的这个关系，其实这些人际的技巧就非常的重要，所以你可以好好的沟通。
And I say, like, is my wife here? No, my wife's not here. Yeah, my wife for people skill is not that good.
所以我认为我的太太的这个人际技巧
But
没有那么好。
people who really love honesty and straight to the point, they like to talk to my wife because my wife will just tell you exactly the way it is. She doesn't hold back, right? And of course, a lot of people they don't like that, right?
因为我的太太很诚实，她想什么就这样直接说出来。有些人不喜欢这样
I
子，
remember one time a pastor he was late for a Bible study,
所以我记得有一次一个传道迟到了，
and then Ha said, "You a pastor should set a good example. Why are you late for Bible study?" And I'm like, why you need to say that to him?
所以我的太太就跟他说：“你是一个传道，你应该做一个好榜样，你为什么迟到呢？”然后我就认为说，你为什么要这样跟他直接的讲这些话？
But imagine he say that to a pastor. What could she say to me when I do something wrong? You know?
就是可以想想看，如果他用跟我的这个语气跟一个传道这样讲，那我
But I appreciate, right? I appreciate.
可是我就好好的这样吸收
But
了。
sometimes it's very painful, right?
可是有的时候很难受。
So quite often when I want to see any feedback for my sermon, I would ask Evelyn, Evelyn, how is the sharing today? And Ha is right next to her, and I'm just so scared to ask Ha.
所以有时候如果我讲到完想要一些回馈，那我就有一点不想要问我的太太，因为我有一点感到害怕。
And quite often you don't need to ask her if you say something. He will tell you, you know, so.
很长你都不用问，他就直接就这样跟你
But
讲。
of course, you know, we all have different trait, right? Different innate trait for people skill.
当然，我们自己都有不同的天生的一些特质，跟这些人际技巧有关的。
And some people, you know, they act like just like $3 bill, right?
有一些人的行为就有点像那个3
Is
块的
there,
钱
you know
一
what that
样。
mean, a $3 bill?
你知道这个意思是
Huh?
什么意思吗？
What's that? No, what'd you say? What'd you say? It's fake, yeah. So there's no $3 bill. So their people's skills are always fake. Right? They just always make other people happy. They say they're just faking, right? But behind their back, of course, they will say a lot of mean things, right?
所以他们的人际技巧是不真实的，那可能在一个人的背后，他们就会说很多不好听的话。
So which one do people like better? The one person being straightforward, or the one is a $3 bill?
所以呢，你觉得，比较
Which people?
好的是比较直接的人呢，或是那个像那3块钱的
What do you
人？
think? Which one people? What's that? You think people like straightforward?
你觉得
Oh yeah, you straightforward. Okay, you like straightforward. Yeah.
我喜欢直接？
Very few people like straightforward. They like the $3 bill, right?
少
Yeah.
数的人喜欢直接的人，大部分的人都喜欢像这个。
And of
给你的
course,
3
for
块
us,
钱的
right, for us, you know, when we communicate, we should be honest with one another, of course, but put a little grace and mercy on there as well, right? Don't be so harsh, you know, don't be so harsh.
其实我们之间，我们也不用那么狠，可是我们也是需要好
And
好
I
地把
remember
事情讲
really,
出来。
yeah, when we first moved to Dallas, and of course, yeah, we were having Bible study.
所以我刚搬到达拉斯的时候，我在那里有我们
And
第一
and
个
some
崇拜。
brethren they were drinking. They were drinking. I'm not drinking water. I'm not drinking that. They're drinking liquor, right?
然后有一些弟兄，他们不是在喝水，他们是在喝一些酒
And
精
because of their
的。
drinking, we start Bible study late, right?
所以因为他们在喝酒，那我们就晚开始了。
And of course, Ha was very upset.
然后我的太太就很
And then she said something.
气，她就说一句话。
Of course, nothing that's very positive because, you know, yeah, you're drinking instead of having Bible study and stuff like that, you know. Of course, from then on, nobody likes her too much.
当然也没有说什么正面的话，因为你在喝酒，然后我们现在在查考神的话，所以当然就从此以后没有很多人
Yeah,
会
so it's
太
very
喜
few
欢他。
people can handle the truth, right? You can't handle the truth, right? You know, but we have to understand when someone is very truthful and that is the personality trait, we should really appreciate, right? Because you will get whatever you know, they feel that what you're doing, right? You know, they don't beat around the bushes.
所以很少数的人能够接受诚实的话，可是有一些人就是这是他们自然的一些特
Next
质
slide, please. Next slide, please. So interpersonal skills actually can help us during the process of building relationship. It's very important.
所以人际技巧是我们能够建立关系的一个
Because they
非
will
常
also
重要的
help
一点
us to succeed in our servitude by helping us understand other people and adjusting our approach to working together effectively.
所以这能够让我们更深入的了解对方，然后能够更深入的来服侍神。
So in any relationship, you know, we always want to be able to work together with other people.
所以不论是什么，关系，我们一定都需要学习怎么跟
And
人相
sometimes
处
as。parents, we always think, oh, the kids, you just listen to me and that's it, right? You have no opinions or nothing. But that's not a good way to build relationship.
作为父母亲，我们有时候就会觉得我们的孩子应该就只听我们的话，他们
And
没有
even
他
when
们
my
自己的
son,
想
quite
法。
often I have to negotiate with him. He's only 4 years old, and I'm there negotiating with him, right?
然后我的儿子只是4岁，可是我还是需要跟他沟通，然后商量事
For
情。
example, before he go to bed, he want to go on the market Facebook to look for his toys. He go on my iPad, and he look on market Facebook, right? Look for his toys.
假如说他去睡觉以前，他喜欢在脸书上面滑，然后找想要买的一
If
些
I
玩
say
具。
no, no, you got to go to bed, right?
然后我就跟他说不行，你一定需要去睡觉。
And he's not going to go to bed. He'd be jumping, walking around, and I can't go to bed either, So
然后他就会到处乱跳啊，到处乱走，所以就变成我也没办法好好
but
地
he's
去
very
睡觉。
reasonable. Then you say, okay, 5 minutes, Nathan. You put on a timer 5 minutes, and when the time goes off, he's fine. He will shut it off.
可是他一定是会听我的，所以如果我说只剩下5分钟，然后你就需要去睡觉，那他也会
Really,
这样子的。
everything in life is about negotiation, right? You cannot get whatever you want all the time, right? It doesn't work that way.
其实很多在人生里面的东西都是你赢到什么你就输了一个其
And
他
that's
的东西
including。with our children, right? Our children, they also, have their own lives. They also have their own needs. So when we speak to them about certain things, we also need to negotiate.
所以当然我们的孩子有他们自己的生活，他们自己的一些需求，所以如果我们要跟他们沟通，我们一定的
So
需要
Brother Jim and Sister Pam, do you
商量。
negotiate with Naomi sometimes? Or can you give an example?
那你们会跟 Naomi 你会跟 Naomi 商量吗？有个例子吗？
Food based. Yeah. So do you bribe her and stuff to eat vegetables or something? Or? There's a lot of negotiation, right? Yeah. I mean, even though she's only 4, but you have to do that, right? That's part of building relationship and everything like that, right?
所以我们其实
Yeah. So negotiation is part of developing relationship.
所以谈判其实是在建立关系里的非常重要的一点。
And as parents, you can strong arm her, right? You get what you want. Will that work?
作为父母亲，你可以用非常严厉的关系来得到你想要的，可是这样会不会有一个好的结果？
I tend to want to just force her to do.
Why? Why? Does it go well for you when you do that? Or?
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
but I need to learn to be a little more open.
Yeah.
我需要学习怎么更加的，就是宽阔。
I mean, we have to learn when things that have nothing to do with life and death, and then, yeah, it's fine to negotiate, right? But there are certain things, like I remember, actually, there's a young brother in Hawaii. He's a big brother.
那如果跟生和死无关呢，都是可以用谈判的方式。那我记得我在夏威夷有一个弟
He
兄，
ran across the street. He ran like when he was smaller. He ran across the street,
那他小时候他是跑到马路的另外一边，
and his father beat him so bad. Right?
然后他的父母就打他。
And
Father
and of course, people are like, how come you beat him? So it's like, and yeah, I want to make sure he never run across the street again.
然后人家就问说，为什么你那么严厉的教训他们？可是那个父亲就
I
说，因
mean,
为
and
我
that's a
想要
Hawaiian style, but for us, we have, to be considered. But he never ever crossed the street again, never, right?
因为这样他就从此以后没有再去。
It's interesting because when the brother told me that, and all of a sudden I heard about Evelyn's mom. She has a friend. They walked with her little boy and just went across the street, right? Got struck by a car and he died.
那
Right? And
Evelyn
then
姐妹有一个的母亲有一个朋友，那她的朋友的儿子就在走路的时候被车撞就死掉了。
but sometimes we do as parents, we get so upset about every little thing. Me too, include myself, right? But Evelyn is good. Ha is good with Nathan, But sometimes I can't deal with Nathan. He has too much energy, and I have no energy, and I can't fight with him because I'm so tired, right?
其实 Nathan 就有很多的活力，那有时候我就没办法 跟他一起这样子，因为我也会非常的疲累。
And that's why I would say, Nathan, you be a good lawyer. He's a good negotiator.
那我
Right,
觉得 Nathan 很会谈判，那他以后会
And
当
he
个
always have
很
a
好的
reason for
律师。
everything. Reasons for everything.
那他一定无论什么东西都一定有一个。
But that's how we develop relationship between parents and children as well, right?
那这样就是我们怎么跟我们的父母建立关
Sister
系。
Nina, do you have negotiated a lot with your children?
因为我觉得
Okay.
我觉得是可能是以前因为我不懂得怎么教育孩子，就是他做不乖我就骂他们。
Before I didn't really know how to properly guide my kids, so whenever they were unruly, then I would just scold them.
但是我觉得就是可能是有骂 Catherine， 然后呢，有一段是我当他长大的时候，我才知道，因为他有时候在里面哭，在洗澡的时候在哭。对呢，就是
Wait, let me translate that. So like when Catherine was younger, I'd scold her, but then she would cry.
She would pray.
Sometimes. Cry.
Oh, cry.
因为那个时候可能是我不懂得跟小孩子沟通，然后当然你因为他性子比较暴躁，然后呢，他让我也很暴躁，所以我们两个从来都没有沟通过，我也是骂他。
And so unlike Catherine, Dominic's personality is a bit more like robust, like
Yeah.
intense. So as a result, the way I would discipline him would also be more intense.
对，所以说就是感觉好像没办法沟通，然后后来就是自己学会了，就是我自己要先看到，然后呢，慢慢的，因为后来就是有一个医生跟我说过一句话，他就说，可能的原因是会不会是在于我嘛？后来我就学会了跟孩子慢慢的去沟通，就是说让我自己可以看到跟他们讲话。
And so actually, I heard some words that a doctor shared with me that the problem may lie with me. So then after that, I took a lot of care in establishing a better relationship by listening to my kids.
Did that work for you after that?
Yeah, because like 就是以前因为当你我会骂他，然后呢，他那个时候也会去反击我，会打我。然后后来我们那个时候，我以为他心理有问题嘛，然后我去找医生，就说让他去看心理医生。所以那个医生就跟我讲，他说问题有没有在于就不要一直看孩子。后来所以我才。
So when Dominic was younger, whenever I used to scold him, he would hit me back with force. And so I thought that this might be a psychological problem. So I brought him to a psych doctor to see if we could work things out.
我去看那个 primary doctor， 然后呢，我问他们要不要去看一个 psych doctor， 然后那个 my primary doctor she asking me she said do you find the problem is on you or on your kids? So next I think
Okay. So now is it much better now that you approach things differently?
it's much better right now.
Yeah.
Because like each kid is different.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
so for him I need to calm down.
Yeah.
So be patient and he'll be patient.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very true. I mean, when Paulina and Malika, right, I have two nieces who live with me, and both of them just the opposite end, right, of one another.
所以我有2个跟我住的侄女，那这2个侄女非常的个性很不一
Like
样。
Paulina, if she get an A minus in school, and she would lock herself in the bathroom and cry. That's the way she is, right?
所以 Pauline 呢，她如果拿到一个 A 减呢，她就会去厕所里哭泣。
Malika, if she get a C minus in the school, she's happy. She's out partying,
Malika 拿到 C 减，她就在外面。
And I can tell Malika 1,000 times, you must do your homework, this and that, right? She doesn't do. Paulina, I never have one to say, hey, do your homework.
然后
Because that's the way she just, she does her homework, right?
然后 Pauline 呢，不用我讲，她一定就会主动的做她的自己的功课。
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's why every kids all have different uniqueness, right? And that's why the way we raise them, we have to understand who they are and what they are, right? So we can do intervention with them correctly.
所以其实每一个孩子的都有一些不同的特点，那我们需要好好的了解他们，
I
才
mean,
知道怎么管教他
yeah,
们。
you cannot bring a stick to hammer a nail, right? You need a hammer to hammer the nail, right?
你不能用一个棍子来把一个钉子打进去，你一定需要拿一个锤子。
And that's why it's important when we have this kind of personal, interpersonal skills, we can truly understand, see our children, exactly who they are, what kind of characteristics that they have.
所以如果我们有良好的这些人际的技巧，那我们能够看出来这些孩子到底有什么
Like
不同的特点。
Nathan, he's not a lazy kid. He's not lazy at all.
Nathan 不是一个懒惰的孩子，
And he wanted to help with everything. And sometimes that's a problem, right? He wanted to do everything independently and he wanted to help with everything. So when I'm doing something a little bit dangerous, he also want to be part of it as well, right?
所以他想要很独立，我做什么他都做什么。如果他看我做一个比较危险的事情，他也想要跟着做。
But if I have to clean the house and do this, he's right next to me. He's doing that, right? Throwing out the trash, walk up and down the stairs. He's very good. He's not, and sometimes say, I'm too tired. No, when it comes to pray, he say, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. He say, I'm sleepy. When it comes to prayer, he doesn't like praying too much.
但我在清房子的时候，走楼梯他都会跟我来。可是，一旦到祷告的时间，他就会说我太累了。
Well, sister, how about you? How did a lot of negotiation between you and your children?
那你呢？你有跟你的孩子之间有很多谈判的时间吗？So up until the age of 5, his grandparents took care of the kids, and then after the age of 5, then she was able to take over. So it's a little harder
Yeah, yeah.
with him.
Yeah, when you start later, it's harder, right? Yeah, yeah,
如果比较晚开始就比较难。
yeah, yeah.
Actually, he's okay now, and he's improved so much.
Okay, thank God, thank God. What about two sisters here? What about your siblings, stuff like that? Do you have to negotiate? Do you have to give a lot, take a lot?
那这两姐妹跟对方的一些就是弟兄姐妹有
So do you, okay, for you, Sister Alex, so do you usually give in more or you take more? I mean, with your siblings, right? With your siblings. You take more, yeah. Yeah. Aubrey probably take a lot from you, right, Audrey? No, she's not. Oh, wow, okay. So, yeah, so Lucas, he seemed very quiet as well, right? He's more like you, right? Not to talk, yeah. Yeah, okay, okay. How about you, sister? How?
I usually let them have what they want if it's reasonable.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't fight with them.
Yeah, you're pretty easy going, that's why. You're pretty easy going. Yeah. 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 I mean, in every relationship, that's why we really need to give and take, right? It's very important to do that.
所以不论是什么人跟人的关系，很重要的一点就是学习怎么
And let's go next slide, please. Actually, interpersonal skills examples here we see. Now, unlike technical or hard skills, interpersonal skills are soft skills that are easily transferable across different relationships.
这个人际的技巧不是只有人跟人之间，你可以用这些技巧来做一些人生当中的别的事情。
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I think this slide is, I was adding all this slide, but I think I opened the, let's see this one.
就是soft skill 软技能。
Yeah, I think this is not, yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, so we value interpersonal skill because they contribute to positive work environment and help a positive, actually, family environment, right? And help maintain healthy relationship.
所以这些良好的人际技巧能够在一个家庭里之间能够建立好的关系。
So like for Sister Nina, you can see, right? So the doctors say to you one thing that, oh, reflect upon yourself. Who's the problem? Your kids or you, right? By just thinking about that, it helps you to build better relationship with your children.
所以跟从医生讲的话，那你就可以自我的这个思考，然后跟孩子建立比较好的关系。
Because quite often as parents, we always think we are the boss and whatever we say goes. It doesn't work that way anymore, right? Maybe in the early years, it can do, but not now, right? Not now.
就可能以前如果家长就是那个掌管所有的，那可能以前是可以这样，可是现在的话，那不能这样子做。
But we also have to remember that, in any relationship, we have give and take. That's very important. Don't think, oh, our children are so small, but every single. No, they also have their own life. They also have their own ways. We also need to adjust ourselves to their needs as well.
所以其实我们需要好好的听我们的孩子，然后我们需要就是，yeah。
Yeah. So that's why when we think about develop relationship with our children, and when we have these kind of innate skills, or social skills, or communication skills, if we lack of it, we must, do better in those areas.
那如果我们讲起我们跟我们的孩子的一些技巧，那我们一定需要好好的就是栽培这件事情。
Because if we think, okay, we're the boss, we are the parents, and everything we say goes, then it will not work, right? It will not work because later on, our children will resent us, and whatever they want to share with us, that's something that's very personal, they don't want to because you don't have that kind of relationship.
那如果我们只想孩子听我们的话，然后我们当父母亲就不听孩子的话，那这样也不行。
Yeah, let's go to the next slide. So let's focus a little bit about these things, these 8 things or 9 things, right? We were talking about active listening, right? When it comes to our social skills, or people skill, active listening.
然后我们可以讲这个好好的聆听对方的一个技巧。
Then, we have to do teamwork, right? As parents, quite often, there's no team. I'm the boss. But it doesn't work that way, right? Everything is teamwork. Even in the Bible tell us there's also teamwork.
在圣经里也有讲到说，全部不论做的事情都是需要有合作。
And responsibility, right? Dependability, leadership, motivation, flexibility, patience, empathy. All these things has to do with our social skills and people skill.
然后这些特点呢，都是跟我们的人跟人的关系有关的。
Can anyone explain what active listening means? Can anyone explain?
有人能够
Yes, brother. You actually listen to them, right?
你是真正在听一个人，
And how can you prove you are listening to them?
那你怎么证明你在听
Like,
他
brother,
讲
you
话？
listen to me right now? Yeah, what did I say? See, yeah. So, yeah. So, but that's not active listening. So important that. So active listening is when someone speak to you, be able to be able to report it back, right? To say it back. That is active listening.
所以很认真的在听的意思就是，如果有个人跟你说话，你能够再反复说回来。
Yeah. Next slide. So let's go to active listening. Yeah. So active listening means listening to others with the purpose of gathering information and engaging with the speakers, right? With the speakers.
所以，如果你认真的听人，就代表你在认真的在听他在说的话，然后你能够 yes。
Yeah, and this is very important, right? So if we listen to others and our goal is not to gather information or engaging with the speaker, then we will not remember what they say.
那所以我们在听一个人，我们的重点不是就只是来累积这些他们到底在跟我们讲的话，只是我们要真正的听他们在要跟我
So,
们说的东
Sister
西。
Pam, when you talk to Brother Jamin, you think he's an active listener? See? That's wonderful, right? See? So good, right? But why do you say he's so good? Why?
那为什么你说他很会听？
What makes you say that? But is he really listening? Yeah. How do you know that he's listening?
你怎么知道他真正的在听？
Yeah, okay, yeah. See, that's the point, right? And sometimes, as husband, you also can pretend to listen, right? We can sit there, maybe not for hours, but we can sit there. But then we have no idea what our wives are saying. We just go, boop, go over our heads, right? So, but the point is that you be able to reinstate or gather all information and remember what she said, right? That's the important part.
所以重点就是能够累积那个人在跟你说的话，然后能够记在心里。
So, how about Brother Jim? How about sister? She's an active listener? You think so? You don't say that much, so it's easier to remember.
我说的不多。
Yeah. So she have different capacity of listening. So you don't say too much, so it's great, right? In that sense as well. Yeah. Yeah.
通常都是我在听他。
It's why you make a good therapist, right? So when we're in the 50 minutes counseling, we just speak 5 minutes and the rest just listen to the patient, right? So yeah.
所以可能你可以做一个好的治疗师，所以他会跟你15分钟的沟
So
通。
honey, do you feel that I active listening to you as well? What do you think?
那你觉得我是在积极的听你在说的话吗？
Why do you say that? Yeah, she quite often she's not an active listener. She only yeah. So quite often when I say something to her, her mind is somewhere else, right? Her mind is somewhere else.
所以经常如果我在跟我的太太讲话的时候，她可能是在想别的。
So, but of course, we all have different active listening skills, right? All of us.
可是我们大家都有不同的这些能够积极的听别人在说的话的一些技巧。
So, Sister Nina, between your kids, which one do you think they be able to listen to you more, or
所以你的两个
active
孩
listening?
子的
They listen to you.
谁会比较能够积极的听你讲话？
我觉得两个都会 both. Sometimes like 也许我会讲，我跟他们讲的话，有时候我自己都忘记。Sometimes I forget and they can remember.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that means they're listening to you. Yeah, yeah, and that's good, right? That's good.
I mean, they're sharing me a lot. So after school, they're sharing mostly vocabulary. She's sharing.
Yeah, good. Okay, and how do you feel about that when she does that?
Me,
Yes.
I'm so thankful.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Because like I felt like most of my friends when kids grow up,
Yeah.
it's not in our primes lectures. So kids they just can't harm, they not help the parents,
Yeah.
and they just close the door.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
So they both harm
Yeah.
sharing, but for most Kelly she's sharing.
Yeah.
My family is sharing too. I ask.
Mm. Yeah.
But I think that is important. I want to know what they do in school.
Mm. Yeah.
And they can share.
I mean, that's a very important statement, right? Because, as our kids continue to grow older, if they just don't want to talk to us, this means some way along the way, we have destroyed our relationship with them, right? Because children, they love to talk to us.
所以孩子他们非常喜欢跟我们讲话。
But if we always not active listening to them, then guess what? They will not actively talking to us. It's just the way it is,
那如果我们没有积极的在听他们想要说的话，那他们也以后不会积极的
And of
跟
course,
我
some,
们说。
and of course, sometimes my kids tell us something is boring, right? We're like, oh, what are you talking about, right? But the thing is, it's not about that. If whatever they want to share with us, we must be there actively listening to them.
那不论他们分享什么，我们一定需要在场，积极的听他们在想要分享什么。
Because to make them feel that they want to talk to you, right? They can share everything with you. And then when something is very important come along, they also feel free and effortless to communicate with us.
所以让他们觉得他们不论什么发生的都可以跟父母亲分享。这样，如果以后有一个非常重要的事情，那他们也会分享这件事。
So that's why it's so important, right? Here say, active listener avoid distracting behavior while in conversation with others.
那这也就说起，如果你积极的在听一个人，那你就不会找一些别的让你分心的事情。
So this can mean putting away or closing laptops or mobile devices while listening and asking and answering question when prompt.
这样就代表把手机、电脑等等把它收走。
Like for me, when I listen, I cannot just sit there. I can do many things while I'm listening as well, right? And yeah, so when I was in college, I realized that every time I go to a library and study, I fall asleep. It's too quiet. It's too quiet.
所以我自己呢，我是在听一个人，同时可以做很多不同的事情。我去大学的时候，我在图书馆会睡着，因为太安静。
But when my surrounding is very noisy and this and that, I can focus much better. I don't know why, but that's how my brain works. It's like that.
但如果我的周围相对的大声，那我就比较能够注意。
So
别人在
when
讲
my wife talks to me and stuff like that, I be doing some other things too. And when the three of us sit down, talk and stuff like that, I do something else. But I think I'm not listening, but I'm listening. I can repeat everything they say to me. But now not as good because I'm a little old and I forget. But but I can repeat whatever they talk about.
所以像我在家里，如果跟家人在讲话，我可以同时做一些别的事情，那我也可以反复说他们跟我讲的话。
But most people, right? You really cannot have any kind of, you cannot do anything else. You cannot do two things at once, right? If you listening, you get to listen. You cannot do anything else.
但大部分的人不能一时做两件事情。你如果在听一个人，你没有办法可能做别的事情。
So, Sister Claire, when you're growing up, when you talk to your parents, do you feel they're listening to you?
那你长大，你跟你的父母亲讲话，你觉得他会听你话？
Yeah. So they ever have like their laptop or their phone and stuff with them when you're talking to them?
My dad sometimes does.
Your dad is the iPad guy, right? Yes, I know. Yeah, I know. I remember when he first bought it, he was cheering me, and he's like, "Oh man, you're real into it, you know?" Yeah. He's still like that now. He's still.
我的父亲很热爱他的 iPad。
So even though he's on his iPad, do you feel that he's listening to you?
虽然他 OK just no just go。
No, but then he'll be like, sorry, what? And then I'll repeat it.
Oh, I see. Okay, Sister Ali, how about you, your mom and your dad? Which one you think there's more active listening to you? Your mom, right?
我的母
And,
亲
and
比
why
较
do you
会
say
积极地
that
听
and not your dad?
那为什么不会说你的父亲呢？
Yeah, it's on his phone. But can he hear you or he's distracted with his phone? He's distracted with his phone.
他还被电话分心。
Yeah, your dad is very active. Right? He's very active. He doesn't like to sit around and do nothing a lot of time. He's always busy doing things, right? Except when he eats his noodles. I know when he eats his bowl of noodles, he like to sit and eat. Yeah. So yeah, all of us have different characteristics and stuff like that. And active listening is so important to build a relationship.
所以我们大家都有很多不同的特点，可是很积极的听对方是有关我们建立关系的很重要的一点。
Like how always yell at me when I go to the doctor's office and stuff like that. I'm on my phone, and the doctor would tell us something about Nathan or something like that, right? But I'm listening to all the doc, whatever she's saying, stuff like that, you know. But she's thinking I'm not listening, right? But of course, many people always view me like that. But even I'm sitting, like when I sit and listen to sermons, stuff, I have to draw something, I have to write something, I have to do something. I cannot just sit there and listen because I fall asleep very quickly. Yeah.
那我去看医生的时候，我的太太也会教训我，如果那个医生在讲有关 Nathan 的事情，然后我在做别的，那相对的我在听道理的时候，我也一定需要同时在写东西，不然我会睡着。
Okay. So our time is up. Any question you thought?
所以我们时间到了，有什么问题
I
吗？
think this interpersonal skills or people skill, I think active listening is so important to build a relationship with others.
所以在这人际关系讲起，我们这很积极的听对方是非常重要的一点。
Yeah. So when someone is not actively listening to us, and then it's very hard for us to share with them, especially the important things in our lives.
所以如果有个人没有在很认真的听我们在说的话，那我们也很难分享我们
Like
发
Nathan,
生的事情。
sometimes have important things to say to Nathan, but he doesn't want to listen. Right? He's not actively listening.
那有时候我可能会有一些重要的事情想要跟我的儿子分享，可是他没有在积极
And
的
then I
听。
just tell Evelyn, talk to him. I can't talk to him. Right?
我就跟 Evelyn 说，你跟他讲话，我不
Because I
行
end up I get angry, I would get mad, right?
因为我会发起。
Because Nathan, he
会
does not
生气
like, when he does something wrong, he does not like anyone tell him that he is wrong. Right?
因为 Nathan 做错事，他不喜欢周围的人跟他说你做错。
So when I tell him, Nathan, come here, son, I want to talk to you. Yeah, and he knows that routine. I want to talk to you, and then he just walk away, he just go away, right?
所以当我说你来，我要跟你讲话，一定是知道会发生什么事，
But
他就
Haas
会
is
走
very
开。
good when he does this. She just say, "Okay, 1, 2," then she see him running back, and do whatever he need to do. Right? With me, it doesn't work. It doesn't work right now.
是我的太太这样，数1到3的时候，Nathan 就会这样跑来。可是对我而言，我这样是
And Nathan, you listening,
不会
Nathan?
有功效的。
Yeah. Yeah. So any question, any thought? Any question, any thought?
有问题吗？有一些想法吗？
Any question, any thought? So really, don't forget this because sometimes we just. Oh, you say yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think I'd like to be a better active listener, but it's tiring sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the part.
Yeah.
And I'm also a person that doesn't talk too much either. I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't talk.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't talk.
Okay. So when I don't do that, like I expect the same.
Right. Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my whole family talk a lot.
Yeah.
Like all my sister and my
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
They love to talk.
Yeah.
I'm so opposite.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 所以我自己呢，也就属于比较安静的，那所以我就可能对于别人有同样的一些概念，就可能想要比较好的能够听别人在说的话。
Yeah. Listening is very tiresome, right? Really. I feel you have to listen to something that you don't want to listen to. It's very tiring.
你如果在听你不想听的事情呢，就会非常的感到累。
I think, every time we invite my family to come over the house and stuff, we need a whole week off. After they come over, right? Because they're just active people, right? They do this, they do that, is that we get so exhausted. Then we invite church members to our house, like, oh, thank God. Like, yeah, they're very different, Like, yeah, we are more slow. We don't speak too much, right? So, yeah, we don't get exhausted as we invite my family members to come over.
所以，如果我叫我家人来呢，我就可能会有点疲累。可是如果教会的人来我们家，然后我们再请客，那我就会觉得相对的比较。
And of course, when they come over, they don't have much fun, right? Because we are boring. We are boring kind of people. We don't have nothing to drink. I mean, alcohol and stuff like that, and we don't get too excited and cheer things and cheer that, Yeah, so we are pretty boring people too.
那因为我们也不喝酒精，然后也不做一些别的东西，那可能人来我们家也会感到有点无聊。
It's like Joyce, she's a party animal. Joyce, if she get a car, she's never home. She go here, she goes there, and she talks a lot. Exactly. But she's with us. We are so bored. We're so boring too.
那 Joyce 姐妹也很喜欢在外面到处跑，可是她当在跟我们家人一起相处的时候，那可能也会觉得我们有点无
Really, our
聊。
excitement in the house is just sit down and talk to Nathan. That's all. Really, we don't do much. We don't do much.
那我们在家里的乐趣就是跟 Nathan 讲话，然后我们其实
And
不
for
做
me,
很
by
多。
7:30, yeah, I can't keep my eyes open. I'm tired. I go to bed. Really, it's tough.
然
It's
后
tough.
晚上7点半我就太累了，需要睡觉。
And my mom Joy say, "What 7:30? What do you mean? And she want to stay up and do this and do that. I can't.
然后
I get to go to sleep.
这姐妹又觉得7点半太早了，想要做别的东西。
Yeah. Okay. So praise and thank God. Yeah. Yes, you want to say something? Oh, you want to say something, sister? Oh. What time you go to bed? You seem like 7:30 is so early for you. No, sister back there. What's your name, sister? Kaylee. What time you go to bed? 9. So when I say 7:30, you're probably in shock, right? Yeah, I know. You were like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's part of life. We do what we need to do, right? And active listening is one of them to develop a relationship, right? As children also, make sure you listen to your parents, right? Actively. Don't just brush them off, and that's very, disrespectful.
所以当儿女也需要认真的聆听父母亲在说什么话，因为如果你就不听他们的话，这样其实不礼貌。
Okay, we'll continue next time.
好，我们下次再讲
And let's
别的。
kneel down and pray together.
请跪下祷告。